Yo, Deathloop might just be game of the year. Or am I capping? What's up, everybody? This is the Best Box Kid Smooth, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm talking about Deathloop. Yes, the PlayStation 5 exclusive. It's also on PC. It's made by Arcane and Bethesda. I know the irony. Yes, Bethesda is now owned by Xbox, but you know the whole story. But this game, the good news is, pardon me. The good news is this game will be available on Xbox at some point in Xbox Game Pass. But for now, you can't get it on Xbox, and I don't think you should wait to play this game. Deathloop is available at $59.99. Yes, you do not get the PlayStation $70 tax on this game, and if you were smart enough to pre-order the day before it goes live, it was on sale for $53.99, and this is probably the best $53 I spent in a long time, and I am happy about it. So Deathloop, before I get into the review, I'm going to tell you a couple of things that kind of would have kept me away from Deathloop. The fact that it was a game by Arcane. I'm not good at Arcane games. I've tried all the Dishonored games. I've never finished any of them, and Deathloop looked a lot like a Dishonored game with more gun variety, or guns in general. And then it was also a roguelite, and you guys know my experiences with roguelike games. It's a no-go. So I had no intentions on actually buying Deathloop at all up until the review embargoes came. Now, some of you guys may say it was a lot of capping going on because this game was getting 10 out of 10 from IGN and GameSpot, who are notoriously tough when it comes to game reviews. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're on to something. And so I bit the bullet, spent the $53, and I bought Deathloop. And long story short, I am actually happy about it. I recommend the game. It's worth the $60 that it costs now, and I don't recommend you waiting a whole entire year to play it on Game Pass. Now, obviously, if you do not have an Xbox and you have a PlayStation, you get it on PlayStation. But if you only have an Xbox, then you can get it on PC, or you can wait. But Deathloop is a roguelite time loop game. It's about you play as a guy named Colt who wakes up on a beach in a time loop, and you have to figure out, and he's being haunted and taunted by this antagonist. Her name is Juliana. And before I even get deep into like what the gameplay is, the story arc and the audio and the voice acting in this game is phenomenal. It's probably I think it's literally 50% of the game. I think it helps carry this game. The dialogue between Colt and Juliana throughout the whole experience literally carries the game on a narrative base. It's just every moment from things that he learns, and each day it's a time loop game, so you're in the same day every day, but obviously your goal as Colt is to really investigate, what happened, why are you there, who are you, who is Juliana, what is she to you. There's obviously some connection between the two characters, because the dialogue is like just phenomenal, and things like that will open up. But you kind of have to learn to get out of loop, because the only way the loop ends is if obviously Colt dies. You know what I mean? He's typically get killed, and he's obviously killing others in the loop, but you have to figure out what to do, what order, who you have to go after, and where to find this magnificent chick named Juliana, right? So gameplay wise, it's like I said, it's the best game I've played from Arcane. I know Arcane typically does, like, the Dishonored games, they're very melee heavy, right? Melee and abilities, different type of abilities for the combat. Deathloop is more standard shooting. You do get, of course, abilities and secondary options to help the gameplay like flesh out and what diversifies the gameplay. There's a lot of stuff. It's very Arcane like, but being that it's more of a shooter, it's more of my style. I think they did a tremendous job. Visually, it's not the best looking game. It's not like a next generation visually game. Like, It does have, like, you know, your standard performance modes and resolution modes. Resolution mode targets 4K, but it barely holds 60. Actually, it doesn't hold 60 at all. You got ray tracing mode, which is targeting 4K. It's at 30 frames per second, but it does suffer from some frame pacing issues. And then you got the near perfect performance mode, which is a dynamic 4K at 60 frames per second, but the resolution is closer to 1440p than it is to 4K. But it was my preferred way to play. I thought it was good with the right balance, and the gameplay felt smooth. There are some issues here and there, but I'm not sure at the time of this video those could have been patched out. I did have a couple crashes, and then I had some weird drifting issue with my DualSense controller, but I'm not sure whether to attribute that to the game or the controller, because it was the only time I've experienced that issue is with Deathloop. But other than that, I had a blast. Nothing could stop me from playing this game. Literally nothing could stop me from playing this game. I love the concept. I love the way that Arcane puts this game together. It has a long tutorial, but it's one of the best tutorials you're probably going to experience. Once the game opens up, it really does open up. Now you're going to feel overwhelmed at the start of all the things that you're going to have to do to piece this together, like, oh, how's this going to work? But don't worry, they put things in the right order, and it does kind of just happen really one at a time, and it's a good paced game. Now, Colts obviously, when you're playing as Colt, you're actually playing the primary story. Your goal is to break the loop. There is another mode which is considered like the multiplayer mode, which is Protect the Loop, where you take the control as Juliana or a clone of Juliana, and that's how you interrupt other people's game. If one of your friends or strangers have their game set to online, they can, you can launch in somebody's game and you can interrupt their play and rank up, gain XP, earn legendary items and whatnot. And that adds a whole new element to the game, which I think is dope. Now, just to give you a heads up, that's not the only way you can play this game. There's another alternative way you can play this game with that mode enabled. You can actually, and I've done this a few times, use Juliana's character to be a pseudo co-op partner to a Colt in somebody else's single playthrough. Remember, Juliana is an antagonist, so she's not going to get attacked by the random AI that's there unless she attacks them. Juliana also has access to locked doors. She also has access to turrets and camera systems and stuff like that. She could disable that. So I mean, if you want to be a friendly person to help your buddy get through some of the challenging parts in the game, you can use that mode literally to do just that. Now, while playing as Juliana, by doing that, you're not going to really gain the XP that you would get from just taking your friend out. But just to give you guys a heads up, if you don't know, there is an opportunity for co-op play in this game by doing just that. It's just a matter of, do you want to play the way they did not intend for you to play the game? Overall, man, I had a blast with this game. I had more fun in this game than I anticipated. I did not expect the game to be as good as it was, and I tend to agree with most of the reviewers. Now, do I think this game is a perfect 10 out of 10? No. GameSpot and IGN were overzealous. I think they were capping. It's a bit over. They overrated the game. Deathloop is a perfect 8.5 out of 10. It is a great game, great new IP. Look forward to seeing more and more what they do with the timeline and this universe, and I look forward to playing this game on Xbox sometime in the future. I don't mind going through another playthrough, but so far it's been one of the best games I played on the PlayStation 5 this year. So let me know what you think of my review of Deathloop, and if you played the game, let me know in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys on the next video. As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace.